Kenny Jameson here. March 4th, 2012. Sitting here thinking about the housing crisis, the financial collapse of '08, right there in the 11th hour before the election. Well, I think back to just a few months before that when we got a credit card bill in the mail, in which I was a good American. I was running 4 credit cards, 4 or 5 maybe. They were all sending those offers out of $10,000 pre-approved, 0% for a year. I mean, that was a common thing to happen all the way from 04, 5, 6, 7. They were just throwing money out at us just as fast as you could take it. It's tightened up, hasn't it? It's also tightened up with your credit score. Seems to be a major problem of who has control to put marks on your credit. Well, my main dilemma is Chase. They seem to be one of the big, largest banks. Well, they actually have the credit cards for food stamps that they've put on credit cards, so I see. 44 million people on food stamps. The administration costs are greater than the amount that they're spending out in food stamps. Something that might merit, looking into there. Kind of a little gift for the bank. In the meantime, back in June, July of '08, they didn't post one of our payments on time. They held the check so they could get a late fee out of us. There was no doubt that it was mailed on time, that they received it on time. They just didn't process it on time. It took them another 3 days. So we called them and said, "What's up here?" And they was like, "Oh, it didn't get processed on time. If we could take it directly out of your checking account, this won't ever happen again. If you don't, you're going to have to pay this $35 late fee, and you're going to get marks on your credit." We're like, "Really? Wow. You received it on time. You just didn't put..." "Yeah, that's what happened is it didn't get posted on time. So now you're rated as a slow pay. And we put that on your credit right away." They didn't wait the 90 days. They put it on right that day. Instead of posting the payment to our account, they posted a late charge to our credit. They took care of that promptly. And we were like, wow. We don't really want the direct payment. We like writing a check and having a hard copy. We like supporting the post office, I guess, at 43 cents. It's just, at any time, they could drain your checking account. If you owe them $5,000 in a credit card bill, they can call in your loan at any time. So if you have extra money in your checking account to pay other bills, when they have direct access to your checking account, it's the law. I'm sorry. Maybe you didn't know that when you owe a bank money, if you're late, they can seize your bank accounts. No secret. A lot of people, they can't do that. It's like, sure they can. They can do that. So that's part of the reason a lot of us don't want this direct payment. They would rather have the payments and the interest. It doesn't make a lot of sense unless you're trying to stand your ground on a 22% interest rate on a credit card, in which you were locked in at 3.9 or 5.9 for the life of the loan, is what this particular one was. It was at 0%, and then they gave us a 3.9 for the life of the loan. Well, they didn't want to honor that, so they voided our contract by not posting our payment on time. It happens, and this is the reason I'm making the video. I think it's happened to lots of people. So we ended up paying them the $35 and crossing our fingers. Well, that whole next month got to be a joke. Every time we got a credit card bill from Discover, from Bank of America, from Citi, all the big guys that had loaned me free money, they all raised my rates to 22, 25%. We were like, we got to laughing, like doing a Johnny Carson, holding the envelope up to our head when we get the letter in the mail. What do you think they raised our rates to? And those were all on time. Citi was on time. Bank of America, all the other ones were all on time. But because Chase slow paid us one time, everybody else got on board like that within 30 days. Boom. Well, we stood our ground. We were like, hey, we called them and they were like, oh yeah, blah, 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 we'll make it right. It'll show up on your next bill, blah, blah, blah. All this run around. You think you have a person to work with at the bank. You call back. Oh, they don't work here no more. I'll take care of it from here. So you call back, and that guy's off today. He's in a meeting, and I'll take care of it from here. And they bounce you around, and you don't get... No one will fix the problem. So before you know it, I'm late on all my credit cards. They're saying it's going to adjust on the next bill. Don't worry about this month's payment. We'll give you a holiday. You can make a half interest payment. Yeah, we'll make the rate right. La-di-da-di. It got to be a disaster. Well, as a few months went by, it came down to September, and we're seeing here on the TV that everybody in the country is defaulting on their bills. Major credit card problem. They're doing this to people's mortgages, making them slow pay and getting them for a late payment. They're doing it to the whole financial institution is collapsing itself. We find out that they've sold mortgages to Finland, to other countries, Germany, Greece. They've bundled up mortgages that were slow pays, got them for the late payment, raised their mortgage rate because it was an adjustable loan and they adjusted it up, and then sold them. So you're dealing with somebody from another municipality, another country that owns your mortgage now. And if you're slow pay them, they could put marks on your credit. Oh, what's their motivation to do that? So you can't refinance. That's the motivation for doing that. So you can't get cheap money anymore. They ran lots of people's credit scores down. So you couldn't refinance. So you looked desperate. So you were a high risk now. You weren't before. They created the problem. Well, what it gets down to is banks don't want to have employees anymore. The motivation behind this whole banking, mortgage, the whole deal was they want everybody to do direct withdrawal from their bank. Let the computers run everything. Borrow money, let them take it directly out of your checking, have your paycheck directly deposited into your checking account, have all your bills taken out, all computerized. We don't need any people at the bank. You have to go through a voice prompt message system on the telephone when you call the bank to what department you want to, and the computer answers your questions. Is this the Matrix or what? This is the reality of what they have set up. A lot of people aren't cooperating with it. Those people, myself included, are getting hit marks on their credit, running their credit score in the toilet. So you're a unreasonable lowlife. You're not cooperating with the new money system in the world, that everything should be direct withdrawal, direct deposit. You shouldn't need a teller. There's no reason to need cash. Every place takes plastic. They have cell phones that take plastic now. No matter what you're doing, let's keep track of all the money transactions taking place. You can go to a flea market. They'll take your credit card. Pawn shop. It don't matter where, what, how. Their goal, in which they haven't accomplished it, was a cashless society. Let the computer keep track of everything. And you know what? There's certain advantages to that. Let's be adults here. The black market would dry up. People wouldn't be able to trade their bicycle for 5 loaves of bread and 2 gallons of milk. The guy with the bread and milk goes, I already got 5 bicycles. I don't want it. What else you got? You got any jewelry? You got any gold? The trading system just doesn't work. It does on some aspects, but for every commodity, come on, we have to put a price on it and declare a price. Buying bread and milk, having to trade for it would be tough. The local grocer doesn't want to start a pawn shop. Having all, is every grocery store now going to have to be a pawn shop where you have to pawn stuff to get your... It ain't going to go to that. They'll take your credit card. And if you let them keep track of your purchases, so and they'll give you 10%, so the computer can keep track of what type of peanut butter you like. If you're buying name brand, that'll show up. And then when you get credit counseling, because you're going to need credit counseling, they're going to look at your computer readout and say, wow, you bought name brand peanut butter. You could have bought the generic and saved $1. They're going to look, oh, you bought fruit. You could have bought canned fruit cocktail and saved money. Oh, you don't even need fruit. They're going to itemize what you purchased at the grocery store. And anybody out there that's not letting them document your grocery purchases, you're losing money. Tell me you don't have a swipe card at the grocery store and let them keep track of what groceries you're purchasing. Tell me you're not using a credit card at the gas pump and saving 3%. If you're not, hey, I'm proud of you. You're in a sinking ship. You're paying complete retail. Well, you're paying a premium retail because you won't let them keep track of your purchases. It's kind of sick. Go through credit counseling, you'll find out. Do you have the premium package on your satellite dish? Do you need dish TV? You have a cell phone? Wow. You smoke cigarettes? You need to stop smoking cigarettes. Do away with your television. Do away with your cell phone. Do away with your landline telephone at home. By God, who can afford that these days? What are these other purchases here? You can get toothpaste for $1. We see here that you spent $2.29 on toothpaste. You can buy toothpaste for $1 at the Everything for $1 store. Here's your Walmart purchases. God, we see you actually bought yourself a couple of new items of clothing, it says here. Can't you wash your clothing? You can get cheap laundry detergent. It's that they get that personal. Is that where we're going? Kenny Jameson on your credit rating. And who's got the access in India, in the Philippines, to put marks on your credit? Out of the country? Really? And we're not, it's not one world order right now? It's not one global network that can put marks on your... Who monitors the credit bureaus? Same people that monitor the Congress. Yeah. Themselves. Bye.